1110 KBND. Depend on us.
1110 KBND Radio News time is 5:05 and a very good Tuesday evening. I'm Dave Adams. In news tonight, in a single vote this morning, the Redmond City Council frees up $1.8 million. It's going to go to several local taxing districts. The council is ending the South Airport Local Improvement District. Now, that district redirected tax revenue to improvements of property near the airport. Now the unspent money will be refunded to the usual taxing districts.
We had a few projects left that we could have funded, but, you know, they either had issues, they were going to be a long time coming, such as something for the new southern reroute, or we could fund through other sources, or they were almost completed projects.
Redmond City Mayor George Endicott says the school district in Redmond, for example, will get $575,000 they weren't counting on. Deschutes County, $150,000. City of Redmond, $708,000, and the 911 taxing district, $18,000. Those districts will also benefit from the usual tax receipts from those properties in years to come. Meantime, a budget shortfall forcing the Redmond School District to cut its school week to 4 days this year, but now school administrators are considering returning to a 5-day week. Superintendent Vicki Fleming says she wants lots of public input on this.
We have not made any decision about that, and people have plenty of time to weigh in on our website. We'll be creating community forum opportunities and probably likely an online survey to gather as much information as we possibly can.
Superintendent Fleming says opinions are mixed right now. She hears from single parents who struggle with daycare with no school on Fridays. She also hears from parents who like being able to spend more time with their kids on Fridays. The business community has expressed that it favors a return to a 5-day school week. The information gleaned from this year's census will not be as comprehensive as it has been in years past. So says Scott Cooper of the Partnership to End Poverty.
Census has gone to a different form of collecting data. They will not be doing the long form count. We're all used to seeing a lot of data come out right after the census happens to find out everything from how many cars you drive to how many miles you drive to work to whether your house has plumbing and whether it has a kitchen and everything else that you could ever possibly want to know.
Cooper says this is the first time since the 1940s the census has used the short form, and it may take some nonprofit agencies by surprise. Cooper says those agencies use this information in grant applications. Partnership to End Poverty will be conducting a training April 1st in Madras at the Cross Keys Station to teach nonprofits some of the ways to fill in the blanks because of this missing data from the U.S. Census report this year. Sisters Park and Recreation District's recent decision to eliminate the executive director's position is probably one of the final changes the district will make to bring its budget into line for year-round operation, so says officials. Board Chairwoman Peggy Tehan says they pared down things pretty much last fall.
Since then, we've gone in and done really a full review of the jobs, skills, and tasks that the district was in need of at this time. And that's where, this transition has been from an executive director position to this business manager position.
Tian says they've just completed a review of survey results from residents. They indicate what the Parks District's programs are needed in Sisters. She says they're looking to be in a very good position for this year's budget, and that outgoing director Carrie Ward played a major role in helping the district get grounded in becoming a public agency, and he says, or she says rather, that Carrie Ward will be missed. Neighbor Impact in Redmond expanding its warehouse to house more food for needy residents. Some of the money for the expansion comes from a DEQ fine that the company chose to donate to Neighbor Impact. Holly Hunter of Neighbor Impact says the building will exclusively hold food and workers will be housed somewhere else.
Basically, we're rehabbing the building back to a warehouse exclusively for use as a warehouse. And then we also are buying a freezer that is being installed this week to replace our old one, and that's triple the space that we currently have.
Neighbor Impact broke ground on the expansion this week. An enterprising group of business leaders have formed a consortium to help put a great face on Bend business. 1110 KBND's Julia Gray tells us more about the Central Oregon Business Continuum.
Eric Strobel with Economic Development for Central Oregon says the group will choose a small company to help navigate the confusing business waters for about 2 years.
It's a way to introduce
all of the different organizations to small business through the application process. People will learn, what each of our organizations do and how we can help.
Strobel says the applications will not be limited to new business, but also small businesses that are struggling.
It's one way to get existing businesses and businesses that are looking at Central Oregon to say, hey, those communities really do support their small business, and that's the kind of place I want to be, or that's the kind of place I want to stay.
Small businesses looking to apply should contact EDCO or the Bend Chamber of Commerce. Julia Gray, 1110 KBND, Radio News.
Professionals in the film industry visiting Salem this week just before the close of the special session to encourage expansion of the Oregon Film Incentive Program. David Bassaw's company, 52nd Avenue Lumber, has supplied set building materials for film projects.
Leverage 3 could not have come at a better time. It has allowed us to keep our employees.
Producers of Leverage say Oregon is a prime location for shooting all kinds of films and could become a dominating force in film production outside of Hollywood if the state expands programs that attract the film and video industry. 1110 KBND Radio News Time is 5:10 as we take a look at leading-edge aviation Skyview traffic update. About an hour ago, there was an accident in Redmond, at Redmond Bypass just north of Highland. Still may be some investigation vehicles there. Redmond Police and Fire Department may still be on the scene, so watch out for emergency vehicles in that area.